Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. Just having a short weekender at the shack. The land has changed a lot in the last couple of months. We've had a huge amount of rain after the recent long dry spell, and as you can see, all the hills are green now. I'm dying to have a look down in the valley to see how the creeks have filled up, and to see if my rock crossing is still in place after probably quite a deluge of water has come down the creek line. Anyway, this will probably be a short video just of highlights. Hope you enjoy. This is my first major blockage on the trail coming in. It looks like the water has washed down a couple of logs, so I'll have to get out and clear that. Just looking at this creek when I can see a lot of silt has come down this gully and filled up behind these logs. Wouldn't be a bad thing if it was here, because that's where the trail crosses, but I can see it's actually, if anything, dug this a little deeper. And I can see some water and rock pools already a bit further down this gully, so I'm going to assume that there's quite a bit that came down the creek, but just got to clear these logs out of the way so I can get further down the trail. And that's the after shot. So I've cleared it enough so I can continue up the trail. But all that leaf litter will eventually just rot away. So I'm looking down from the top of the trail down into the area I call the fishing bend, and that is very full compared to when I last saw it. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but I can actually hear running water down there. So it's full all the way up around to my access track, but if I follow it around the bend, you can see the water continues all the way up that far gully. And only a month ago I was able to drive up that creek bed. It was empty. So a lot of water has come down. I'm not even sure I'll be able to cross it, but we'll try it out. Well, there certainly is a lot of water now in this first pool. Much more than there was before. It's very calm, but I can tell that water is actually flowing sort of left to right of screen. But also I can tell that this whole shore area, this kind of beach area that we had, has been completely reformed. There used to be pebbles all the way down here. Now it's sort of muddy silt, and the pebbles all seem to be washed up against those trees. There was also, where my Jeep is parked, there was a large log that had fallen off those trees, been there for at least half a year. It's disappeared. I'm assuming it's been washed over somehow. I'll have to see if I can locate it. But anyway, yeah, this whole bend has been reshaped from the water flow, so I'm assuming that a hell of a lot of water came through here. Anyway, we're going to have a look a bit further up as well. I was just walking back past the Jeep and I saw something shining in the tree, so I've come and have a look. And it's a plastic chair caught up in the bushes here. It's got washed down from somewhere. Who knows where this chair's come from? Perhaps it was used by a hunter in a blind or something like that, but I'm going to pull it out and put it somewhere useful. Weird, extremely weird to see that here. There it is. handy, I guess. I'll put it somewhere in the shade. So I've just walked across the other side of the creek here. Normally this is where I drive up and you would see wheel ruts up here, but this has all been washed smooth, so the water has actually come all the way up along this bank. You can see the tussock grass has all been washed from one side to the other, left to right. So it'll be interesting to see what happens further up. But I'm more concerned with if I'm able to cross the creek, because normally I would have crossed kind of about here, but it looks a lot deeper than it was. So I think if I stick tight to this side where the bush is, it looks a bit shallower there, I should be okay. I'm just going to clear a few of these rocks on the side, but it looks alright. I should be okay. Made it. Stop here and have a bit of a look. Just having a stop near this large, I guess it's a silky oak, and you can definitely hear water rushing. You can see here there was so much water coming down the creek that it tried to cut a new channel through here. Didn't quite take, but obviously a big volume of water. So I'm at my regular kind of fishing spot at the fishing bend here, and it's very changed. It's a lot deeper, of course. All the rushes on the far side have died off or been eaten, but anyway, they've gone. The shore is a lot steeper and covered in like a silt instead of all the pebbles. And my fishing log, the log I sat on and watched the day go by, has disappeared, as well as the fireplace I had here for at least a little 3 years. Just coming up to see if there's any sign of it at all. Not even sure I'm looking in the right spot. Everything's completely washed away. I think this would have been the spot where the log was, and the fireplace would have been, the fire ring would have been around here somewhere. Completely gone. Amazing. Would have been something to see, but I'm kind of glad I wasn't here as well. Anyway, I'm just going to see if I can actually get the Jeep up here and then explore a bit further. So we'll see if the trail looks like it can be something that's still drivable. Well, it all feels fairly compacted sand. If I can get up onto this rise level here and park it up here, or perhaps just around the corner up that way, then it should be pretty good. Kind of a bit soft sand, but it's got rock underneath it. I think if I head round to the right side and have a bit of momentum, I should be okay. The rise, not bad. I think I will put it on the rocks. Here we go. So we're safely parked there. It's a good technique to actually walk the trail if you're unsure. if your vehicle can make it up here. There's a few tricky spots that I had a look at, but really in the end I made it easy for myself and took the easiest way in. So I'll park it here. Normally I would have parked a little further up, but I can see this soft sand here, so yeah, best to make sure you can get out of where you get into. So I'm going to explore the upper creek area now and see what else has changed in this layout here for this creek. Maybe get some fishing in. We'll have a look if there's actually any fish here. There might have been. Well, there's fish in here, but they're not biting, and there seems to be a lot more snags. I've lost my tackle twice in the water already, so I'm going to move on to the other billabong area and see how that's looking. Maybe have a fish there as well. But yeah, let's see if we can get out of here safely. So as you can tell, I'm using my phone to video this. I wasn't prepared really to do an adventure video this time, but things are turning out interesting. They're always interesting when I come down here, so so bear with the rough footage here and there as I make my way down to the billabong. We'll be nice and quiet and walk gently down and see what's there. Very full. And I can hear rushing water again, so it's overflowing down to the other creek. This is my earlier camp spot. Obviously the water didn't make it up here. The firing is still here. Well, maybe there's some water that looks like it's washed across this. Yeah, I think definitely I can see some debris piled up. Wow, so the water washed over the top of this sandy area, and that is very full, this billabong. I've never seen it so full. So let's have a look down here where the water is overflowing. Very picturesque. It's a lovely day down here as well. Kind of mid-20s Celsius. So yeah, beautiful day. I'll try and throw a line in, but just enjoy nature, I think. We have some success fishing here. Probably can't see him in the water there, but he's trying to get into the bank area. I'll have to try and reel him in. Hopefully I don't drop that. Drop the phone as I'm doing this. Come on, out from there. He's swimming towards me along the bank here. I'm going to try and get up to the shallower area if you'll follow me so I can beach him. But I just want to show you that he's on the hook. You might be able to see him there now. He's right below me. Come on, boy. I might have to put you down while I land him. Oh, hopefully the next shot you see will him on the beach. No, unfortunately he threw the hook, so I couldn't land him. I'll see if I can find where he swam off to. No, he's disappeared. Oh well, that's a shame. It was a good sized fish, as you saw. Oh well, that might be it for right now. I think I'll head back up to the Jeep and look along the trail a bit further. I've just come up the big tree trail to check how my shelter is doing after all this time. And it's a lot worse for wear than when I last left it. It's all been whipped around by the wind and broken up, so I think this tarp's had it. I'm gonna cut it down and come back at a later time with a better tarp. This was a bit of an experiment anyway, but yeah, I think it's had its day. So we'll cut it down and then we'll head on the track up to see the creek crossing. Hopefully the rock crossing is still in place, and then check if the dam has got any water in it. Heading towards the creek crossing. From up here it doesn't look like there's anything left of my crossing. I'll have to have a closer look when I get down there, but I'm not very encouraged. Wow, it's entirely wiped away. Amazing. I can't even tell that I made any crossing here at all. Completely gone. That's not good, because that's our only way across into that side of the country. If we can't cross there, then we can't go up into these far hills. It's amazing. I can't see any sign that I was ever here and made anything. Just wiped. Oh well, we'll have to think about what to do. Not today though, that's for sure. I'm just going to walk up this trail to where our dam is, see if got any water during all this large rain that was here. So we'll see how we go with that. Yes, there is water and a duck, 2 ducks. There they go. Well, there you go. Not super full, but definitely not dry anymore. Not the most inviting of water holes, but beggars can't be choosers sometimes. There we go. Well, that's about it for this trip. Glad you could come along. It was a bit more interesting than I thought it might be. A lot of washout from the recent rains, a lot of changes in the creek line. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.